What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Chicken Bone Alley, brought to you by Earl Ramey Racing Engines, Profab Headers and Exhaust, SRI Performance, and Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. What's up, guys? I'm David.
I'm Sterling. What's up?
And Connor will be with us here shortly.
He's not quite here yet.
He's not quite here yet.
He's coming.
Which I don't blame him. It's our air conditioner quit.
It lights up, but it don't say nothing.
It lights up. It don't blow. Fortunately, I mean, I hate the fact that it's not doing it, but at the same time, I'm like, it's not a year old yet, so it is under warranty. So
that is a big plus.
That's a plus.
But it is 89.1 degrees in here, so
yeah, it's still summer. Still summer. So if we look like we're sweating,
we are.
Because we are.
There's not a humidity percentage on that thing, but I feel like it's hotter than 89 because of the humidity level, but
it's sticky.
It's
sticky.
Yeah.
What you been up
to? Running ragged, man.
No.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of preparations last minute, trying to get this barn done and and decorating and everything for the wedding coming up this week. So we did all that. Been baseball practicing. Went to the beach Friday. Spent the week or the day and night down there for Blakely's birthday. Spending some time with her and letting her do her thing because Cole was gone to the Braves game with his buddies from the baseball team. So yeah, we took her down there. She enjoyed that. She liked being the only child for a minute. She liked that.
Oh yeah.
So that was cool for her. And but yeah, we've had a good busy last week, last 2 months really, but definitely last week, and it's gonna be a lot going on this week for sure.
A thing or two.
A thing or two.
A thing or two. We got a big day coming up Saturday.
Yes, sir, man. Yep. The wedding is Saturday at 5:00. We got some beautiful weather coming for it, man.
Thank God.
Definitely, Lord bless us with some good weather for that, so I'm excited. So it's definitely better than being 100, because you never know in September. You don't know what you're gonna get. It could be nice. It could not be. So it was. We're down.
Tommy, you ain't wrong there. Tommy said, y'all need some fans. No pun intended. Yes, we're in need of all of that.
We do need
But
fans.
actually, we got 3 around us, so if y'all hear anything, that's what it is. It's fans blowing. So that's the only way we're able to be out here right now. It's because of fans. We do have some air moving, but no, it's all right. It's cooling down. It done dropped another almost degree, so we're good to go. There he is. There Connor is. What's up, man?
Not a whole lot.
You having fun at school today? All that fun stuff?
Yeah. I can't complain too much.
Well, good. Well, how's you? We got a few things to talk about with you over there. We might need to go ahead and hit that real quick. We got a guest coming on here in about 14 minutes. It looks like. But we was at the racetrack this past weekend. I want to go ahead and hit that real quick while everybody's listening. I'm gonna tell y'all what. Just go ahead and get this out there. I probably saw Connor probably the most. I'm gonna go with irritated.
That's a good word.
Irritated as I've ever seen him before, ever. We had a red flag, a rain delay in his race, and he got out getting loud with somebody. And I was like, go ahead, Connor. No, you weren't the only one, but I just like the fact that you were doing it. Yeah. I said, go ahead, Connor, do it.
Yeah, you know, not many people can make me.
No,
can
I know. That's why I liked it. That's why I liked it. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I don't like to.
No, I know
to be like that. That's not how. It's not fun when you have to.
I like the passion though.
Oh yeah. I guess it showed a little bit.
It showed a little.
What caused all that?
Just the same guy repeatedly running over everybody.
He hit everything,
and I got away. I got off easy this time, but I
got your wheel mark on the doors. All you got.
The doors caved in.
Was it caved in?
Oh, yes.
But he got the easiest of it.
Yeah.
He tried to take out everybody else in the field.
So what did they leave him on the racetrack for?
That's a good question. No, we should have been taken off probably.
Yeah, that's what I'd say.
That was, and I voiced that opinion because I was spotting for Chad. And I asked them, I said, y'all got a black flag.
Right.
Use it.
Wow.
So, I don't think they like my opinion of that. But
The race got out of hand. It really did.
It did. For absolutely no reason.
Even from before and after rain delay, it was out of hand.
Yeah. It was something else. We started a race, and that car, boy that runs with us, Ethan Winkler, dude just came out of turn 2, and I think Ethan must have got a little loose or something. Anyway, dude was obviously faster than him out too for whatever reason that lap, and he caught the bumper and just turned him the whole way down the back straightaway. Backed Ethan into the wall. Fortunately, he got it woe down pretty good for the most part. And then was able to keep it going. Got out there, and then was it the next race?
Well, they put the 58 in the back.
They put the 58 in the back.
They were
yeah,
beside each other basically.
And then they had they didn't have any street stocks there, so they combined the classes.
Yeah,
which I didn't realize until about the end of the race, because they put street stock in between on the schedule between Challenger and Legend Car, and then I was like, oh crap, all the street stocks was in that race. I got to go. But anyway,
I knew they were there when we lapped them every 2 laps.
Oh god.
Oh
yeah. That's another.
One of them went bad. There were some that
couple of them that was horrible. But anyway, all of a sudden 58 takes off again, and he is fast. The bad thing is he's fast. I mean, got a motor in that thing.
Yeah.
I don't know about the handling so much, but he got a motor in it. But anyway, he drives down turn 3 about 5 car lengths too deep, and he's, I don't know, a good 2 car lengths behind this other, just one of the street stops, and he's driving there, just pile drives him, takes him out.
God.
And I was like, and that was the first time I looked, I'm like, what in the world?
What's it going to take?
I mean, and then they didn't put him in the back for that, though. I was like, well, this was their thing. They said he was in the back already. He was in the back of the Challenger cars because there was 2 classes. That was their explanation. I was like, whatever. But anyway, so they started again, and that's about the time he put Will and you. Or you.
He did it to me on the first lap.
Oh, was it the first lap?
Yeah, at a turn 4, he just used me to turn his car.
Jeez.
God.
Yeah.
So,
he did it to me the 2 corners before he got Ethan.
Jesus.
Wow. What did he say when you talked to him?
I don't even know if I got to him. It was more of his.
He wanted to take
brother.
a cane out. He was going to go to people's head with a cane. I guess he was going to go to Connor with his cane.
Wow. I might like to hear his explanation. Like, what's the purpose?
He put it on. They put it on Facebook, and they blamed everybody else.
Yeah, you have to show me that.
Yeah, I will. He put it on Facebook, and they blamed everybody else. It was everybody else's fault.
I'm sure.
Wow.
It's every week, so.
Yeah, and then so got back. There was a rain delay that lasted, I don't know what, 2 hours probably, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Coming up on 2.
Yeah. So we all got out there. A bunch of us got out there to help drive the track some. By the time they started the race, they gave a few laps. What'd you think about the track before y'all got back going when they gave y'all them 5 or so laps?
In the groove was fine. Outside the groove was very sketchy.
Well, Chad told me on the radio. He said, I think we're good to go. He said, but there is a slick spot out of 2 up high. I said, all right, well, be mindful of that, because you're starting on the outside pole, or well, outside front row of this part of the race now. So him and J.R. Moore go down in there, and they make 2 laps side by side. But the second lap he come out of turn 2, he found that slick spot, and he lit him up down the back stretch, spun it around, and all I see is Connor coming towards him. did y'all actually even touch?
No, our bumpers were probably from me to you from hitting.
Yeah.
Maybe closer.
I don't think they were closer than that. They were closer than that.
Golly.
I was on the brakes. I was like,
Chad told me
down the straightaway.
Chad told me, he said all I could see was the whites in Connor's eyes the whole time coming. So, but he said, he come on the radio. He said, "Tell Pete, tell Connor that was some good driving." So
I lost him in the smoke for a second.
Oh,
there he was again. I was like,
all he could do was just stand in the gas because he was going towards the wall when he got loose, and he just stood in the gas and spun it around. And
we dodged.
I mean, they did again. 58 somehow 58 and the other 18, the street stock 18, they ended up on the back stretch, 18 on top of the 58.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Well, they end up getting all that. That took forever to clean up.
It did.
One of the wreckers wouldn't pick up a car.
And then they had the other car down there, the light they couldn't get it going.
Yeah, he blew a power steering line, and that was his first race back since his tire blew up on him, and his hands been all messed, so he couldn't turn the car. It was an interesting challenging race. Then the 58 still makes it back out there somehow. I think he finished
Finished third.
Third, he make it third.
What?
What happened after the race? I don't know. Connor finished second.
It got uglier.
Connor finished. I didn't see none of this. We were out there racing, and I didn't hear.
Yeah,
I didn't hear till we were about leaving. I was like, "Where?"
Well, I was coming in with a legend car, and Dad came over the radio and told them that told me and Pete that they were 58 was trying to claim our shocks. Which I mean, it's legal. I mean, it's something in the rule book. That's not. He was claiming ours and the leader's shocks, but I mean
So what happened?
He just I'd come off of back-to-back races, and I was already kind of hot. And when I got that, I marched over there, and he didn't help the case any. And I just told him they better be legal next week. I don't mean that. That's.
I love it,
bad.
Connor.
It was bad, and then they were mouthy anyway, and so it was. We jawed at each other, but that's people are like that. It felt very unnecessary.
No, it was very unnecessary. The whole way of racing was very unnecessary.
They're probably trying to buy a win, but I'm glad neither one of us gave in. I'll say that. And
so did it claim shocks?
They claimed both the front shocks on ours and JR's. Yeah, we took the money.
It's all right, I guess.
Get them back next week.
It's just an odd thing to do. I mean, he was probably the fastest car on the track the last several laps.
I've heard so much about that shock claiming stuff. There was one time that shock claiming was a thing, but you had to write it out before the race that you wanted to do it, and all this other stuff.
Well, it was kind of bad, and it was a whole ordeal. We didn't really know we were getting claimed till a certain time. Then the time limit went off, and we couldn't make a claim on anybody else's, which maybe we'd have tried to back them down or something, but
can you back claim?
Yeah, if they finish on the lead lap, you can claim shocks
of anybody.
I'm pretty sure.
See, I don't like that.
I don't like claim rule at all, really.
Well, I don't.
It makes for lazy tech.
It does. It does make for lazy tech. You
I understand the premises of it.
I do too. That's what I was fixing to say. Is I understand it, but I don't like the fact that you can just claim anybody. I don't like the fact that man finished 8th. As long as he's on the lead lap, he can get the leader shot or the winner shocks. Like, no, you need to go to work a little bit harder on your stuff. Finish second, then you can claim them.
Well, that's what it was. It was a race of attrition, to get to third. And it was like I said, he was fast. If he wouldn't hit everything on the track, he might have been all right. But,
Yeah.
But
he had motor.
It was already. If it wasn't already had some tension, it probably wouldn't have been a big deal. But we'd all just kind of had enough at that point.
I mean, I don't understand why you go out there and drive like that.
Yeah,
and I feel for Duke. Because we're not even naming a name to give him that, but the dude's had cancer, has cancer, or something like that. I know it took like 3 people to help him walk back, but I don't think it's him that drives horribly, but then his crew wants to mouth off at everybody, and it's just like, this is completely unnecessary.
That's
if
what
you
it felt like. It was just, the whole thing was just unnecessary.
If you want to do it, fine. You want to claim it, say just, hey, we're claiming those, and that'd be it. There ain't no sense in wanting to make a scene out of it.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but that was good. You had a decent legend race.
Yeah,
I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't make very much of a race out of it, did you?
No, I did not. Did not. What happened with your car there?
It was started second, ended up fourth. First lap, I went down there and I found another wet spot on top of 1 and 2.
Did you really?
Oh, well,
I didn't find none. Thank God.
I think I was just a little too far out of the groove, and it was going to be there. But beyond that was the first time we'd put just 2 new tires on, and it didn't feel bad. Just too tight to I
noticed a lot more difference with the new tires at Dillon. We ain't talked about new tires yet. We've talked about not having tires on here, but we ain't talked about having new tires yet. We'll have to fill y'all in on that here in a little while. But I noticed new tires a lot more difference at Dillon than it made me anyway at Florence.
I felt them in both.
Did you?
To be honest, yeah.
And I think maybe we just missed Florence that much, and then I didn't get a race. We made an adjustment. I didn't get a race, but I made it a lap the second race at Florence. So, maybe it was just that. But I noticed my car the other day in practice. It and I'm not saying, and we did. We picked up a lot of speed, but it just almost felt like the center. I was almost underdriving the car to begin with because you're so used to
not having the grip,
right, and rolling so far. I feel like I was, and then when you didn't pick it up because there was so much grip, it almost bound you down. Kind of.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was.
Yeah,
when I was pushing a little bit. I think because it's best to put all four on new. If you're going to do that, I think that it does affect it a lot more than the left sides than you would think. But I think we just got to compensate. We didn't compensate enough for the two new tires. But it wasn't bad.
No,
solid top 5. But.
Yeah, that was solid. Good day for you. I ran like doo-doo. I had good speed and.
Oh yeah, last practice you weren't bad at all.
Last practice especially had real good speed, and I was like, man, we finally hitting on something.
Right.
We've had trouble, just getting what the car likes and what it wants and all that stuff, and finally the other day we changed some stuff that we hadn't changed it before on that car, and I think it liked it. I was like, all right, I think I know where it's going with it now. So, got out there in the heat race, and that was another ordeal.
I was
in the middle of everybody's stuff the other night. Somehow. Yeah, we had a long night there, Landon. We got out there, and my car was running good, but there was a boy that started on the pole of the heat race. We draw for the heat race. I don't necessarily like drawing for the heat race. I mean, I wouldn't mind if, and I think Connor's had this idea, or Dennis had this idea, both of them's had idea, we use the second round times, but then you take the top 5 out of that and let them redraw. That way it's not
just anybody.
Not just anybody, not just having possibly the slowest car in the field on the pole.
Right.
Which happened. I wasn't trying to talk junk to the boy, really. What happened was the slowest car in the field started on the pole, and he was just fast enough to really be in the way. And I watched it because I was behind him, and I got stuck. I was like stuck on the bottom and just couldn't move because you can't. A lot of times if somebody sticks you on the bottom, you can't get a run off the bottom of the corner to do anything, especially if somebody's up high. Well, that's what was happening. I was stuck down below him on the bottom, but somebody was still up high, and I was just stuck. I couldn't go nowhere. Right. Well, the boy would come off the corner if somebody was on the outside of him, and he'd just try to run them in the wall. Just keep on going up the track.
Duh.
And the first time I was like, whoa, he didn't see him. Then the second time I was like, he done it again. Then I see him do it again. I'm like, wait now. So the last lap, I was just like, all right, you want to drive that dirty? I know you ain't necessarily done it to me yet, but I'm just gonna push you on out there because I'm gonna be done with this. Yeah, you're right, Thomas. He pushed Thomas into the wall, actually. So I went down to his pit after the heat race. He's a young boy. And I didn't know exactly who it was, actually. I didn't. I just went over to the car, and there was a couple people standing around. I said, who? I said, I said, he drive this car? And his dad said, yeah, he drives this car. And I just looked at him. I said, do you have a spotter? Very calmly, very nicely. I didn't say it sarcastically or anything like that. And his dad looks at me and says, no, he ain't got no spotter. He ain't run nobody into the wall. And I'm like, yeah.
I hadn't even said that yet.
I hadn't even said it yet, but yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. or tried to at least. And he starts arguing with me, telling me that we can't pass on the outside. That we just couldn't pass on. No. You're not supposed to pass on the outside. You can't pass on the outside.
What?
And that's what I said. I'm like, we pass on the outside all the time.
Yeah. That's a good way
I'd almost rather pass on the outside if somebody's not driving like that.
Yeah.
But and then he's like, no, you can't pass on the outside, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, we get in there, and he tells me, I go to walk off, and I'm just like, man, you can't just run out the wall, you know.
Yeah,
you can't just act like nobody's there.
Yeah.
So I go to walk off, and he says, well, we run dirt. We don't even use spotters there. I said, I just looked around. I pointed around at the track, and I'm just like, do you see any dirt out here, boss? So, anyway, they end up loading up after that.
They didn't make it past the rain.
I think I made him mad. I don't know, but it happens. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we got a special treat here on the phone now that we want to get to. Man that has been a pretty much a local racing legend here in the Southeast. He is son of a famed racetrack owner and promoter, Mr. Charlie Powell. Mr. Robert Powell here on the phone. What's going on, Robert?
How you doing, David?
I am absolutely wonderful, man. It is a joy to have you on the phone here with Connor and Sterling too, and we sure appreciate you coming on here, buddy.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna tell you, I was listening to y'all. I need to come to Dillon and race. It sounds like Connor was having too much fun out there.
Connor was having a lot of fun.
It was a blast. No, it is a good place to race, though, for sure.
Yeah, it is. I've raced there several times, but I enjoy it. I just my time is just so. I don't have much time to do much racing anymore right now, but I'm gonna be back. I'm gonna be back doing it more pretty soon. Just trying to take some time off, and focus on some other things that I have going on in my life that I have to do to keep myself in the right place. You know, right now I'm in a good place, very good place in my life, and I miss racing. I bought a car, me and Mark Day, and we went partners on a car, and I bought a late model car. Well, it's a Challenger Charger car, limited late model, whatever you want to call it. I've run some races, and I think we ran like 5 races at Florence this year. We had a 2 seconds, a third, a fourth, and we got a win the last time we was out. But it got a little head too much at one time, and I just decided to back down a little bit and let the rule situation get a little bit more focused on everybody instead of just, some cars. I'm not down in the racetrack or down in anybody at this point. Just, racing's racing, and you're always going to be trying to win like Connor. I mean, I respect Connor and his dad a lot. Connor's come a long way. But I talked to Jamie this week a little bit on the phone, and we had a good talk. And I wish I could help them more than I can. I mean, they're smart. Jamie's won a lot of races. Connor's come a long ways, and I'll help him any way I can. Like I told Jamie on the phone, if there's anything I could possibly do, I'd love to do, because I want to help the younger guys come along, because our time's about up. I know my time's about up.
Well, man, it don't sound like it. You're still out there winning races. That don't sound like time's about up to me.
That's right.
Well, I mean, it ain't like it's time to let the young ones do their thing. And I still love it as much as I always have. I miss my dad. In it. Every race I won that I can remember, a lot of them that I come to Victory Lane, he is always there, and I miss that. It's just not quite the same as.
Oh yeah.
But I know I miss my dad probably more than I can imagine. But I'm. It's sad to say, but by him being gone, it made me have some hand that I am now, and I appreciate that with all the good he tried to put in me. And I did some good things, and I did some bad things, as we all know. But I'm focused more on being a better person at home, being a better person for my kids. I have grown kids now, but we have a good relationship.
Good.
So it's everything in that aspect is going the way it's supposed to go. But like as far as the racing goes, man, it's still as fun as it's always been.
Good deal, man. Good deal. Well, man, I want to. First, I want to tell you, you have probably been one of the biggest names that has come up to me multiple times of suggestions of people to get on the show. And I've told everyone, and I don't, me and you have never talked other than today, actually, on the phone and stuff like that. But probably don't know it, but you don't know it, but I grew up over at Florence Motor Speedway myself. My dad helped car drivers or car owners that you drove for there for a while. He helped them for many years, and so I grew up at racetracks, and especially Florence. That's in our backyard. But your name has come up more than anybody, and I've told everybody that's always asked me about getting you on the show. I said I really, 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 really want to get him on the show. I said that's one of the biggest names and biggest people I want to get on the show because and obviously it's because of the area that we're in right here in Florence. Right. You made a big name here in the PD region, in the Low Country area, and for yourself and your dad and your brother, and everybody knows who y'all are in the racing world around here and knows what's going on. But I told every one of them, and I kind of told you this today. I was like, I said I want to get him when he is ready to open up about it. And you told me today, you're like, man, I'm an open book. And that is, and I believe, and I'm gonna tell you this before we even start it. I believe myself that God puts people in places in certain times, and if your story can help just one person, then telling it is 100% worth it.
Yes, sir. So, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you having me on. I want to, like I told you today. We'll do it on the phone today, but I'd like to come sit down with y'all sometime, maybe.
Yeah, man.
That would be great. And I mean, my deal is it's not about me anymore. I want to help other people to not go through some of the things that I went through.
That's right.
If I can just help one person not go through some of the things that I put myself through. Nobody did it but me. I did. But again, you can't appreciate good. You go through and Lord knows I've been through some struggle, but I appreciate all the good things that has happened to me and all the good things that's going to happen to me. As far as you talking about people get put in places for certain reasons, Dennis Brown has been a major part of my life in the last 6 or 7 months. He tells me things that he's hard on me. He don't let me try to wiggle around stuff. And
that's right.
He just tells me I need to be more open to try to help other people, and I'd love to help other people, but still you gotta put yourself into place to where you're able to do that and be sincere about it and be over the things that bother you or that bother you. I don't get on Facebook much because I've always said I got too many skeletons in the closet to get on there and people, but you know what? Them skeletons they're closed door to me. And if people will understand that all I want to do is help people, I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to, and that's my goal in life at this point is to, and it's going to be in racing. I'm sure it's going to be in racing. That's all I know how to do. I want to help the next person not go through some of the things I went through. And I want to help some of them go through the good things that I went through. Because I had a very successful racing career.
That's right.
That I'm very, very, very proud of. I'm very proud of it. And there's some things I wish that I could take back, but I can't. It's just, it's life.
That's right. That's right.
Bad things happen to good people. Good things happen to bad people.
You were 100% correct there, man.
It is that. But the good Lord, I do go to church. I go to church and I believe in God. I trust Him and I trust His will. And I believe He put me on this radio show today, and hopefully I can touch one person's life. That's what it's about for me.
That you are 100% correct there, man. Well, I want to, for anybody out there who's listening who doesn't know who you are already, man, I want to go back. I want to kind of chronicle your career. If we have to make this 2 parts, we'll make it 2 parts. I want to start back. You know, we all know your dad was the owner and promoter of Somerville Speedway and Florence Motor Speedway, and you raced there. We know all that. We know that, but I want to know, you know, what your first race was. What was your first ride? What was your first experience racing and stuff? So just go ahead and tell us where you started at completely.
All right. Well, my dad owned Somerville Speedway, and it was a dirt track. And me and my brothers, Charles and Sean Graham and Charles Powell third, we had the advantage of having we were back to track every year. You know, we went to about 11 everybody got to have a small cars. But by the end of the probably 3 or 4 weeks, there went for one of them running. So we'd have to share the cars and back the track. After that went on, then Charles started racing at 14. He went out into called junior modified. He like probably the sergeant car now, I'll say, but his own dirt. And he went out. He his first year he won 10 races and one of Daddy's old cars. And then I'm like 13 point. I'm playing football with these 3 guys. You know what? I want to do it too, Dad. Next year. Well, before that year started, I can remember watching Charles when he was like winning like all the time. I'm like, man, I just do that. I don't know how he does that. He was good. But then the next year come up, and I was 14 years old, and I started racing, and I ended up winning 10 races also. I left from there, and then I was still running junior modified. Charles had moved up to late model. Then Dad was running late model also. He was still racing. And I was the junior modified, winning like almost, periodically I was winning pretty good. And Dad comes in one night after I raced junior modified. He said to me, get into late model and give me his car. And I went out and run late model, and I think I finished 4th or something like that. But after that, it went on to dirt racing. And then after we went to, I think in 1988, me and Charles were battling. We're battling back and forth for the championship at Somerville, but I had more wins accumulated at this point. So Charles decided to go somewhere else and race, which would help my quest to be the national champion for Winston Racing Series in 1958. And I succeeded in that. We won the national championship for Winston Racing Series, NASCAR Series. And I got a lot of opportunities from that. I ended up getting over USA sponsor. We went to run Dale Jarrett's push car I think I had it for 10 races. And the very first race I ran a Bush car, I finished 10th. Qualified 6th, finished 10th. Kenny Wallace spun me out. But still come back to 10th. So, yeah, that was one of them Connor deals that, like Connor was this weekend. I'm like a little fish in the sea, and this little guy, Kenny Wallace spins me out, and I go and run into him on the caution. My very first race. I was pretty much a hothead. I just didn't take much foolishness on the racetrack. I believe that was my sanctuary. That's where I went to. All I did was race, and if somebody got in the way of that, I would take it very seriously. Anyway, so that went on, and I ended up finishing. I think I ended up running like 8 of them races. And, no, it was an 8-race deal. There was an 8-race deal, and then the rest of them was all of that count all pro series. So I did that, and I ended up the next year. Coca-Cola USA was supposed to. We were supposed to run 5 6-up races, the full Busch series, but I need to put this out there because I've heard so many people talk about with the Coca-Cola deal and the Busch deal. So I was very successful when I run for Dale Jarrett. We finished like top 10 in like 5. You can look at the records. I don't remember what it was, but we had some very good runs. I finished 4th in my 3rd race. at Lanier.
No.
So whenever we whenever the year was ending and we were supposed to renew the contract with Coca-Cola USA was supposed to step up and cover I think it was only like $300,000 then to do it, and Southeast bottlers were going to do the other half, and that's when Kyle Petty got the Mellow Yellow sponsorship to run the Winston Cup. I know for people remember that.
Oh, yeah.
The Mellow Yellow car. That's where my Coca-Cola sponsor went. So I didn't lose that for my foolishness. My foolishness come later. So me and Dad got me a Busch car. We periodically run it some, and we just wasn't competitive. We run good. We qualified 15th at Charlotte one time, out of like Dale Earnhardt Sr. and all of them were there. So we were just going, and my dad was spending a lot of money.
That's what I was fixing to say. Tell us a little bit about that, because I mean I know obviously it's more technical dollars now, but you know with the way it was back then, how was owning, well technically you and Dad I guess owning your own car for the Busch Series and trying to make fields with that, and being competitive with that, that had to be pretty tough.
Yeah, it was real. It was, we were competitive. But competitive for us is like, and the way I was taught, I just wanted and I was always going everywhere. And it wasn't bad to me until we would start going to like Charlotte, and we'd go to bed, being a little guy, if I was an 850 low, I got to go back around back. It's like a 5 miles push the car around the back. You get something that's a half-inch low. It got aggravated.
Oh, 1 second there, Robert. We can't.
So we did about as much as we could possibly do with the Busch Series, me and my dad. And I looked at my dad one day, and we were walking down pit road in Charlotte, and I said, Dad, I don't really want to do this no more. I said, let's just take this money. We got this Busch car. We're spending all this money, because my dad he put every inch of his heart into that Busch racing with me, and I could see it in his eyes. It was killing him, and I just said, no. So we got out of the Busch deal. We went and sold the Busch car. Started a car. Then I ventured out and started racing for others, which was probably the best thing I ever did. So when we went to Myrtle Beach, I started driving for Diamond Car. And we went a couple. And then I went to Martinsville with a guy, Lee McAllister. Everybody build a car.
We actually are good friends with his daughter Tanya, so know Lee very well.
Yeah, so Lee, me and Lee got together, and I had a motor. So I put it up. I'll put the motor up and provide the car. So we went to Martinsville and we won that. That was a big highlight of my career, probably. I got one of them grandfather cars I'm looking at right now. From Martinsville. And then after that, I guess, kept on doing what, just trying to stay in racing. And then some bad things started happening in my life that I could honestly say that I learned a whole lot from.
Well, let's I don't want to just completely delve into it, but I want to. What at that point, you had things going for you. You had, obviously race cars, and that was your love, was race cars. As it is all of us racers when we grow up in it, that is what we just love to do. What do you feel like can compel you to do other things, we'll say, and get involved in other things that can, just pull you away from that completely.
To all the young people out there, and even the older people, that if you'll remember these 3 words that will help you in life more than anything: people, places, and things. You got to stay away from people, places, and things, because what you surround yourself with and who you surround yourself with is what you're going to become a product of.
That's right.
And I mean, and that's I believe in that. I distance myself from anybody that has drug addiction. I try to help them, but I don't hang around people who have drug problems, because I'm an addict myself. I'll put it out. Addict. I've always been an addict. That's part of my life that I had to become aware of, that I couldn't just go out and because people do and they get away with it. I always ended up getting caught at anything I did. So, and I just believe that you gotta put the first thing you gotta do is put the good Lord first, and your decisions made. So you hang around with things that you do. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to pay for them. And
that's right. That's right.
I mean, and I'm still to this minute right here, I'm still paying for all the mistakes that I made in my life. I mean, I'll pay to them until I go to see the Lord. I don't know, but I'm not suffering. I'm not living that bubble. Why did that happen to me? Why did this? Why did I get caught? I got caught because I was doing something I wasn't supposed to do. That's possible.
There's a lot of people out there like that, and I know a lot of people like to, blame other things and other people and everything else, and that's a big step. I know when you can, look at yourself and say, "I caused this. I caused this." That's kind of what
100%.
I've known people myself, and you kind of tell them that's.
I take 100% responsibility for anything that's happened in my life, good or bad.
That's right.
I mean, but I moved on from it. A better person for the bad things that I did. I'm one of these ones that can actually stand up and say, well, I grew from it. I mean, other people won't see it that way, but I look at the things that I have now, people that I have around me now, and I'm very, very blessed.
That's right. That's you're exactly right, man. All right, let's step back just a little bit. You won the National Winston Weekly Series National Championship. Man, that is that's a title that a lot of people, nowadays. I mean, the NASCAR Weekly Championship they look at now and it's like, man, that's a big deal, and it's always been a big deal. That's what people like me and Connor look at, and you're like, man, I wish I could do that. Wish I could, have a car, drive a car, big, good enough to make that happen. Man, what was that year like?
Man, that year was like, it was, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I wish if I had to do it all over again, I would savor it all that I did. I mean, I think I took a lot of stuff for granted, because that is a big deal. And I look at it now, I got a big trophy in my house. That very proud of it. Very, very proud of it. I met a lot of people through that to be a better person. That I wish that. I mean, we all got regrets. Everybody has regrets, okay? But I guess the racing part of it, I took for granted so much, David, that it's sad. It's real sad.
Well, I think,
to be honest, it's real sad.
I think we all do. I mean, I think we all just strive to my son just walked in here. He says he wants to sing a song on the microphone. Tell everybody, hey, Jackson. You say hey? Say hello. He just came from therapy. Okay. Go see Paris. Not right now. There we go. Yeah, man, that is a but that is a I think we all take it for granted though, man. It's we all just kind of look if we win a race one week, we're just looking the next week. How can I win another? That's all we're looking for. And that's it's so easy to do. And I tell everybody, I look back at it myself. I mean, me and Sterling both we were fortunate enough to win Powell's go-kart races.
Oh yeah.
But now looking back at it, it's like, man, I wish I'd have had more fun doing it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I felt like we just worked our tail off.
Yeah. Whenever I bought the late model that I've been running now, the guy that helped me that like the car team, I guess I keep it at the top, named Paul Graham. He's known me my whole life. He looked at me one day, I'm over there, and he says, why aren't you doing it? I said, what do you mean? He said, you're working your butt off like you're going to run the Daytona 500. I said, I don't know why. I said, but what I want to do. And I mean, and I still have that drive. Sometimes it takes over my mind. And like Dennis tells me, just slow down and have fun. And he's right. I mean, you gotta like the Connor and all the young people, you gotta have fun. But listen, don't take that fire out of you, Connor. If somebody runs into you, you feel passionate about it, you gotta let them know, or they're gonna keep doing it. I mean, I wouldn't say tear your car up, retaliate, but you gotta let them know that you can't. You're not gonna take that fire because they'll keep doing it. You know?
You just care too much, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, Robert. Well, I got a few. We actually have a few people online right now asking. They wanted to ask some questions. So these questions, I had one sent to me. It's kind of a two-part question here. Well, it is a two-part question here. Becky Campbell wrote us and said, "Can you ask Robert, has him and your brother CP3 always been so competitive against each other?"
Since the day we were born, I think.
It's just bred into you.
Yeah, we've had some battles. I remember at Somerville, one of the last races we ran together against each other at Somerville. I come into pits after I won the race and I got into Charles and he got behind the last lap. Come down pit road, he threw a Gatorade bottle through my window. We're like brothers now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we've always been very competitive.
That's the one where they get out there fighting and stuff, and it's like, nah, just let them go. Just let them go. They're brothers. It's all right.
And I remember Becky Campbell. She was a daughter of a lady who dated Nathan Powell, who was with Nathan Powell.
That's right.
They used to go to races every week. She's probably one of my biggest supporters.
That's right. And my dad actually just told me that same thing a little while ago. And that was the second part of her question. She said, what was one of your favorite races, if you can remember, that you drove for Nathan at Myrtle Beach?
Every one of them. every one of them was a challenge with Nathan Howell. I can tell you that. But I'm very great. I probably won more races with Nathan Howell than I did any other person I drove.
Yeah, I could imagine that. I remember myself going over to Nathan's shop over there in his backyard and sitting there messing with the race car and stuff when I was little, and that was and now I look back at it at people remembering like Nathan Howell, because like I said, my dad helped Nathan. Obviously you had Mr. Shelby and Jamie over there with Connor, and Sterling's dad helped Junior Johnson and Slick and all them back there. So we all kind of grew up in a shop somewhere, and now we look back at it as like, man, those
it's
names
so
around here.
David, it's so much different. I mean, it's kind of, I don't know if it's a good or bad, but it's just not like it used to be, with the good old boys in the shop working on your cars. I mean, it needs to get more like that. I think, I don't know what the problem is or the solution, if there is one, but it's just time, I guess.
I think it's and I've said this before, I think it's the social media world we're living in, is because Absolutely. nobody come, because I mean, that's how it used to be, is, the social media network went back when me and Sterling were younger over here was you found everybody by either who's, when we were young, whose bicycles was at each other's house, or when we got a little older, whose cars was parked in each other's driveway. That was only networking you did.
Right. You're right.
And and I think that's just changed because that's what everybody did. I remember a bunch of my friends coming over and we'd work on each other's cars, and
yeah, that's right.
Me and Sterling, we used to work on each other's cars till late in the night, many times.
Yeah.
I mean,
Many
just to do it. I mean, the cars we drove on the road daily just because it was fun to do, and it's just it's something's not the same about that anymore. I mean, I ain't trying to down your generation, Connor, but
I don't think car culture is nearly as big in my generation.
It's not. Yeah. It's not. I mean, there's a select few.
I'd have loved to see Connor go drive to Nate Town one time.
That's right. That's right.
I remember winning about 50 races one year, and somebody went to his shop, and he walked up to the back of the shop and said, "I want you to look at all these fenders I was tore off my race car. Now, I've been trying for 3 years. There was 2 fenders back."
That's great.
He was tough, boy. He was tough.
That's awesome. All right, another question here. Our buddy Mr. Rafe Judd said, "Tell the Darlington story."
All right, the Darlington story was we had our own car. That was one of my bush cars that I decided I was going to set it up in the shop, and I did everything to it. I've never set up a bush car in my life, but I had been studying on the last guy that did it. So had a brand new motor, and Daddy had spent like $20,000 on the motor. That's a lot of money.
Whew.
Went out, got there, went out to make practice run. On the parade lap of the practice run, it burned a piston motor.
Oh, wow.
I'm not going to say why it burned a piston, but it burned a piston in the motor.
Jeez.
So I had no practice, so we went to Hermie Sadler, H&E, home to me, right through the building there. And they had a motor in Hermie Sadler's car, which he was running for the championship. We went to Holmes and Ease and said, "Is there any way we could get a motor?" Because what they did back then was they made the race by going to by your application that you put in. How quick you put the application in. That was always on top of that. I was the first application, which meant if qualifying got rained out, I would be automatically raced. It was like start there. That's what Earnhardt is getting all that. So anyway, so they said, you can rent it, or you can use it all you can use it for is qualifying. No, but I said, well, it doesn't matter because it started raining. It started raining so bad. I mean, the qualifying is going to get rained out, but we'll get in. But they said, well, you still got to have the motor running. You got to cook the tank with it running, or you just don't get raced. So we thrashed. We got it. They finally, the guys got it all. Rafe was with me. Rafe Stubbs was with me. We put the motor in there and went through tech, cranked it up. They didn't ever bleed the clutch in the car, so we didn't have to go out. Sure enough, the sun came out. So I'm sitting here on the line. I ain't made a lap at Darlington. I raced there like the year before, and not made a lap. So I was sitting here in the car, getting ready to go qualify on pit road. And Michael Walsh was sitting there, and the cars were going back and forth. I said, Michael, I said, where do I need to off right here on this one? He said, right back there at that sign right there. I sat there and watched people up and do it. I said, man, they pass that line. Why is he thinking? I went to see Mark. And I said, Mark, I said, I ain't talking about you. Probably you drive that thing down there as far as your things will let you drive. It'll stick. I remember I said smart. I don't know what I can. So I did. I went out and qualified. I drove down in there, went through 3 and 4 wide. That's when 3 and 4 was the other. Through there and kind of a little loose sideways off the 4 and come down. Ended up qualifying like 21st or something. And Hermie Sadler, he didn't make the race. I think he got a provisional for it. Dale Earnhardt comes down there. This is what Ray's talking about. Ray's talking about Dale Earnhardt comes down there. Dale Earnhardt seen it. He grabs one of them boys and said, "That's the qualifier from hell right there." He said, "Tell Fat Boy." He'd always call me Fat Boy. Dale Senior always tell Fat Boy he did good. So we made the race. We made the race, and then Hermie wouldn't even rent me the motor for the race. So we had to go all the way back to Somerville to get our other motor that wasn't too good in there, but I ended up finishing like 23rd or something. That was a pretty good highlight. That race, great remember, and I remember it just strictly because of Dale. I love Dale. He was my hero.
Man, that's cool. That's stories can't nobody beat right there. When Dale's coming down there and telling you, doing good like that, man, that's awesome. Well, man, I want to, if you're good with it, and if your schedule lines up, man, there's a ton more to talk about. But we only got so much time, unfortunately. Can you think you can make it back next week?
Absolutely. Maybe I'll get on Zoom. Maybe I'll get on the Zoom with you or something like that. Or where you do this? Where you do the show at?
We're right here on the east side of Florence.
Okay. Well, I couldn't do that at this point.
Well, cool.
I work.
I got you.
But I would be more than happy and grateful to let me do. I enjoy it. I mean, sometimes I get a little carried away because I get excited about it. I still got so much passion.
Man, that is why we're here, because we wouldn't have a show otherwise. We love it, man. Well, cool.
I mean, I hope I can help. I hope I can help them young fellows. Connor, I'm proud, buddy. I mean, when you first started, I thought I'm a long way. Just don't give up. I told your dad, give up on what's going on at Florence and all that. It'll all come back around. I promise. Okay?
I appreciate it, man. I really do. Thank you for all the advice.
That's it.
All right, Robert. Well, man, we will have part 2 next week. I appreciate you coming on with us, buddy, and can't wait to do it again here soon.
Thank y'all for having me. Okay.
Thank you, buddy. Talk to you next week.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Robert Powell. There's a lot more still to cover in that story.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack.
A lot more to unpack. And I'm glad we kind of got him on here and, talking a little bit about it. And we'll come out, he's told me, like he said on there, he wants to help as many people as he can. So there's a lot of people have asked about his story. There's always been, the biggest reason I've wanted him on here is there's been so many speculations over his story. There's a lot of people say, well, this happened. We don't know.
No.
We weren't there.
You can't.
He was. So I want to help him, more or less, sometimes talking about stuff like that's a good therapy for people. Mm-hmm. But in other ways, just clear the air, clear it and tell the real story of what happened. Yeah. And we might can do that.
Everybody knows it better than him.
Exactly. And I know there's a lot of questions on here, guys, we didn't get to. I'm taking a picture of them. I'm going to take a picture of every one of them, and I'm going to try to squeeze those in next week on here. And maybe y'all come back and hang out with us again next week and for the conclusion of that story. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate you, man. But as we have to every week, we got to cover the bills, I guess. What bills?
Those are important.
We appreciate all our support from Earl Ramey Racing Engines, guys. If you are in the market for a motor to go under the hood of your race car, I don't care what kind you got, pretty much. If you got he pretty much deals with all the V8 stuff. So if you crate motors, super motors, I don't care what you're looking for. He was up at Eldora this past week helping customers that run his motors this past week. So whatever you're in the market for, head over to Earl Ramey Racing Engines and let them know that we sent you. Also, Profab headers and exhaust, guys. Yeah, they are the best on the market. They are their slogan is they are quality that wins, and there's a reason why. They not only look good, they not only sound good for us car guys, but they perform good. So head over to Profab headers and exhaust and get you some today. You will not be unsatisfied. You will be completely satisfied with a set of Profab headers from over there. So y'all head over there to Profab headers and exhausts. Get you some. So anyway, all right. We I guess I need to tell real quick since we didn't finish it right there. What happened to the legend car?
Yeah.
Before Robert got on real fast, it just died in the race. It just didn't go. It wouldn't go. It felt like it just bogged down.
Same thing as before.
Yeah. And we got under there looking on the lift Sunday. Got on there looking wires, just thinking maybe a ground or battery, something coming loose, and I didn't know. I just like, man, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Finally, we reached up there. My dad, we had it trying to run because it wasn't even idle. I mean, just blah, 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 blah. You'd have to hold the gas to get it idle. Well, that's not idling, is it? That's revving.
It's revving.
But anyway, he just happened to reach up there and just tap the throttle position sensor, and it cleared right up.
Have we done something with that already?
Yeah, we changed the whole the throttle bodies and ECU, had them flashed and everything, and
Yeah, because it went away for a couple weeks here.
Yep. And it is still, after so long of running, it kind of goes back to run rough. You reach up there and just tap it, and it goes right back to running good. So,
what's in it that's moving when you tap it?
all it does, what that throttle position sensor does, basically the butterflies are in the throttle body. Similar to a carburetor for everybody that hadn't messed with fuel injection too much. Similar, except there's a separate injector. Basically, that just pulls in air. There's a separate injector that injects fuel into the cylinder. So the air, instead of coming in together in a carburetor and just going into intake, they come in separately.
So the butterfly's just sticking.
Well, no. The butterflies are still moving. Butterflies are moving fine because they move off the throttle cable still. What that does is that's supposed to read the position of the butterflies and tell it how much fuel
to put in.
I think it's going to the rich side because every once in a while you might see a little puff of black smoke out of it.
Trying to flood out.
Trying to flood out, basically. So that's what it's doing.
At least you found something.
Yeah.
How you gonna fix it? That's the
Well, and
that's part two.
fortunately, I mean, we can buy a throttle position sensor. I don't know. I hate the way they got them things now because you got to have everything flashed and all this other stuff. And I'm hoping we can get a throttle position sensor in there and put it back on the same marks, and maybe it'll be in the right position.
Try.
Exactly. I promise it's not going to run any worse than it did Saturday. But anyway, it can be frustrating.
Yeah, no doubt.
So that was our race. That was all we had going on there on Saturday night at Dillon. I didn't cause any more drama.
It's crazy. I haven't had anything like this in weeks.
And then Connor comes back, gets back. That's what happened. Connor got back in his Charger car. Oh, that's what happened. Caused all the craziness.
Yeah.
Must be.
Oh, must be.
Everybody associated with me had something go wrong.
What was really funny is I really thought, out of all that to begin with, that Ethan was going to be the most mad.
Yeah.
Ethan was kind of...
He was the most...
calm.
Yeah.
I was just like... He had a piece of a tail section, bumper cover off of the other car stuck in his hood. Cover. That became a hot topic, too. Did you hear about that? That became the bumper cover became a hot topic because they said on there we couldn't. There was no working on the cars. I get it. Not working on them under red flag. Well, there was a bumper sticking out of a hood.
Yeah.
Can you take that out?
Nope.
I'd be working on it. You have to go to the back. Well, he said, I ain't worried about it. Just sit there.
You're right.
Well, then the other guy wanted his bumper cover. So he's like, why should I give it back to him? He stuck it in my car. So, yeah, that became a hot topic, to say the least.
Wow.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. It was It was fun. It was fun. Man, it was crazy.
What a night, yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway. Also want to thank our good friends real quick from SRI Performance. They're your one-stop shop for all things racing. Guys, I don't care what you need performance-wise, to repair the car, to whatever. I don't care what it is. They are Walmart for race cars, as I tell them. So head over to SRI Performance, www.sriperformance.com. Fill that card up, get all the goodies in there. Put in promo code CBONE10. The C is in
chicken.
BONE10 and get yourself 10% off at time of checkout. And that will tell them that we sent you. So head on over there. Also, guys, stock car, steel, and aluminum, same deal, guys. Head over there, make that car look good. It's getting the end of the year. Some big races coming up.
Oh, that's one. Every track's got a Thanksgiving Classic now.
That's right. So y'all get them cars purdied up for them. Make them look good. Make them look good for the sponsors. Head over to Stock Car Steel and Aluminum. Get all them painted sheet metal that you need for you dirt guys. Get all whatever else you need. And make the car look good. Make it look good going out there. And maybe if nothing happens to it, it'll look good going into next year.
Yeah.
So, either way,
that's when
it's a win-win.
All the cameras are on those big races
right.
in the season. So
that's right.
When it counts.
That's right. So y'all head on over there. One thing I want to touch on real quick from this past weekend, I guess not necessarily just this past weekend. I got my suit. Back.
I did.
I had to make some adjustments to it and got it back. Connor's spotter, Pete, told me I need to take the batteries out of it. He said it was bright.
Loud, huh?
It was bright. I said, well, good. Everybody sees me.
Everybody knows.
If I can't be first on the track, I'll be first in the pits, whatever. But no, look great. Our friends at Rev Max Racing did a great job. My buddy Rafe Judd went over there and actually picked it up for me. Sent it with Dennis and them this weekend, so I didn't have to make the drive down there. So I appreciate that, Rafe, a whole lot. It was a fit great. Everything looks awesome on it. I got a ton of compliments on the cuffs, I guess you say, and on the legs and on the arms. There's the autism puzzle pieces. That was a lot of stitching.
Yeah.
A lot of stitching. But it turned out so good.
Yeah. Sweet.
So everybody loved it. So head over to Rev Max Racing, guys, if you're looking for a suit, custom made suit, at a great price, one thing, but beyond that, it's gonna look great. So head over there and talk to our friends, Eric and Taylor over there, and they will hook you up to get you on the path to getting your own custom suit. So anyway, we got something coming up.
Something
big tomorrow. Today, if you listen on podcast, tomorrow, if you're listening live here,
on Tuesday.
There we go. The 12th, Tuesday, the 12th, starts our Chicken Bone, the 2023 edition of the Chicken Bone Alley Fall Spectacular. Man, I am looking forward to it.
It is. Can't wait.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I think we got a lot of people coming.
Oh, yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
They'll be there.
I don't think nobody pays attention to post hardly.
I don't think
you and
anybody
Landon
reads past the first two
I don't
lines.
think they do either.
I think that's what our problem is.
I'm just gonna have to make a single line statement.
One post.
One statement.
Comment if you're racing.
God, I'm telling you. Maybe you need to do that because I didn't use my everybody for today or everyone. I like the fact that Facebook did that. Now you can, for group pages, you can @ everyone and it tags everyone on the page, so they see it on the group.
Wow.
Now on a business page like the Chicken Bone Alley page, we can type @ followers, so it tags everyone who follows the page.
Sweet.
Once a day, you can do it.
Maybe you have to do your one tomorrow, and I'll do mine.
Well, I did my
tomorrow.
one today.
Maybe we can both do one tomorrow.
Maybe.
Really get them on.
Maybe. Yeah. So last minute, guys, get on. Whoever's not on our iRacing deal already, get on iRacing. Sign up for our league. Want to thank Fresh Chef for coming on this year as our presenting sponsor. If you are in the Mooresville, Cornelius, anywhere around, Race City, USA, as they call it up there, stop by Fresh Chef up there. You will not have any better food anywhere. I promise you. That is some of the best food you will ever eat in your life. So, y'all head over there. But I'm ready for it. Our friends from Bubba's Bout Broke podcast are going to be going head to head with Connor. And
2 people a lot better than me,
and our friend John Ruggiero, and also Devin Morgan gonna make up Team Chicken Bone Alley. I'm gonna be just in the booth up there, man. I'm gonna be
race
announcing.
Control?
No, I'm not race control. No, we got a race control. We got all that.
We
covered.
might need one tomorrow.
Yes, we are. I'm just up there commentating, calling it as I see it. I might be a little biased, but I'm calling it as I see it.
There you go.
If I'm going to say Connor slow,
You're
slow.
probably right. You wouldn't be wrong.
No. Connor's fair. He beats me every time I'm on there. Apparently, you and Landon guy had a 100-lap race the other night. And
We had a 75-lap caution and a 25-lap
Great
race.
day.
oh, God. Was there a bunch of guys?
It was the first day Kern released.
I have actually been sick this past week. Since last Monday, we didn't have a show, and all of a sudden I got sick. They said I had the vid. So I didn't do anything this past week. I laid in bed for a week up until race day. And that was probably... You probably saw me. I was sweating to death over there because I was like, man, I picked a fine day to get out of bed. But so I didn't get in the race. So was there guys from our league in there? Or?
Nah, maybe 1 or 2, but it was mostly it was the first day they released Kern.
Yeah,
and we raced the dirt late models over there, and it was bad.
A show.
It was every bit of everything. It's kind of a narrow track anyway, and it was slicked off, and it was bad.
It was bad.
It was kind of like some of our races were whenever we hosted early, where until you whittle some of these people out, it would just couldn't do anything.
Oof. Well, maybe. I don't think we're going to have that problem in our league because
we know these guys.
The guys we're racing with our league are top notch, which is probably why I'm not racing more than anything. It won't turn out too good for me. So I have to wait till Connor and Landon wreck each other, or almost wreck each other, so I can scoot around and take and steal a win from them. But
that was a moment.
Yeah, it was. It was. Anyway, so guys, come on, y'all jump on. Anybody that isn't in yet, we're racing on Tuesday nights. Races start at 9:00. The session will open. Yeah, there we go. I was thinking room session or something. I don't know. The session will open at 8:30. So quick practice on dirt. We're going to probably start at 8:45 with the heat races to kind of move the show along. We're going to put a time limit on them too. We got a time limit as far as our broadcasting and our admin. So we're going to be racing either or. We're going to be racing either to this lap or to this time. I hate to do that kind of, but it kind of drags it out when you have
outside chicken bone commentating and stuff. It's good.
Yeah,
good thing to do.
Exactly.
Good safeguard.
Exactly. So we're probably looking at our time limit for pretty much every race. And I think that's for our series. I think that
should be good.
Plenty. 10 o'clock.
Yep.
Race is done.
So tomorrow, dirt street stocks
at Lanier.
It might be the only dirt car I can.
Sterling, I think the last time we had a dirt race at Lanier, we had Legend Cars. Mm-hmm. That was the very first Chicken Bone Alley iRacing League race ever was dirt Legend Cars at Lanier.
Yep.
And it took probably 3 hours, 75 laps, I think it was.
And we had a turnout too, buddy. We had 25 cars probably, and it was.
Like it was a locked in league race, just like we're running now. But we had a ton of people show up all of a sudden, and they were ready, and boy were they competitive. Boy were they competitive.
Yeah, they were vocal.
Very vocal. Very vocal.
That's what makes it fun.
I just had to turn some stuff off.
Yeah. Whoa.
Let me just turn them down.
Walmart version.
Turn them down over here. It was rough. So I'm kind of scared going back. Anything dirt Lanier, but people's had a lot of practice since then. Because I mean, it'd been on there a few years, but a lot of people that we were racing with were new to iRacing in general. So we got a lot of laps under the belt now. And a lot of them are still in our league.
Okay. You never know. You put a bunch of money on the line. You never know. Might be some.
Well, we got money on the line. That's for sure.
Plenty of it.
We are. If nobody knows yet, we are paying $1,000 to win this series. And on top of that, we got a weekly prize presented by Powell Machine and Fabrication.
Yeah. What's up?
$25 to win each week. So.
You win a couple weeks. I mean, that's already.
Yeah.
That's a good payout.
Exactly.
Especially for ours. Especially for a $25 entry fee.
Exactly.
8-week season, you ain't going to find it.
And if we can get a few more people in there, if we can get it at least up to 30. I want to get the 36 mark, which is our max. But if we can get to 30 people in there, there's going to be some good payouts through the field.
For sure.
So, and also we got a quick time award and a hard charger award, $5 each week. I will tell y'all, I set up points a little bit different this season.
Oh,
points wise, we're still pretty much the same. I started at 30 because our max is 36, so 36th place gets 1 point, which makes first place get
36.
Nope. They would get 36, but I did a 5-point bonus on top of that, so it'd be 41 points.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, for a winner. But I also added in for dirt races and heat races, first place will get 1 bonus point.
There you go.
For winning a heat race.
Make it worth something.
Qualifying, fastest qualifier, is 1 bonus point.
Nice.
Everything might help.
Exactly.
Because of
so you can't slouch anywhere.
That's right. It's kind of like stage wins in the cup.
Exactly. Well, it's kind of. I mean, if you look at Eldora this past week, the way they do all the heat points, the passing points, all that stuff. Now we're not doing passing points and nothing like that. But
that would be tough to keep up.
I don't know how they keep up with it. I don't know how they keep up with it at all. But I wanted to make it, everything worth something. So
yeah, that'd be cool.
But it's not overly worth a lot.
Right.
But you going into the last week and you third in points, second place man right in front of you. Well, you need a couple bonus points there, or a bonus point. You need to put down a good lap. Mm-hmm. Can't be a slouch on it and say I'm gonna ride in the back and make my way up, because our last race will be, I think it's late model stocks at South Boston our last week, and a lot of people like it in real life. You kind of lay back, save your tires, and you might can make a run at the end. Well, yeah, you can do that, but you need to be up front to begin with to get your bonus point.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought about doing one for most laps led too, but I was like, nah, it might be a little much. So it's going to be a fun deal. Team Chicken Bone Alley against Bubba's About Broke. What we're going to do is for our little side bet here, I guess we're calling it. I think we're going to take the top 2 finishers, whatever points they accumulated for that night, even if bonus points are in there too. That's going to count in that too. Mm-hmm. So the top 2 finishers for that night, whatever points they accumulated, that's going to be what we get for. But we're not going to have a drop race. Whereas we have 1 drop race, everybody gets 1 drop race for the season points. For the regular points. We're not going to count the drop race in for our side deal, just because we're already dropping a driver each week out of it.
Makes sense.
So it is a cumulative total for the whole season there. So
sweet.
Gonna be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I gotta get my notebook and paper ready, I guess.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, fortunately, iRacing keeps up most of that.
Yeah, that's true.
Go click on that and see what points are all on there. So
Cool deal.
It's going to be a lot of fun. I'd like to thank our friends over at MPM, McAllister Precision Marketing. Y'all heard Robert talk about earlier, Lee McAllister. He just got inducted to the Hall of Fame at Cherokee Speedway. That is Tanya's dad.
Sweet.
Man knew how to build a race car, knew how to drive a race car too. He probably could still get done. So, but anyway, guys, if you are especially a young guy in the sport of racing, you want to make it as far as you can, you got to have the backing and help to do so. So you need a marketing partner that knows what's going on. Head over to MPM, marketwithmpm.com. Go there and tell Tanya we sent you today. Also, Dixie Made. Our friends at Dixie Made, guys. Hope when y'all were down here at Darlington a week ago, hope y'all were able to stop by and get y'all some fresh threads there from Dixie Made. They got all the good stuff over there. So many brands of what I like to call Southern apparel down here. So if you have it, right over here by the flea market right here in Florence, head over to Dixie Made. Get all the cool stuff in today. All right. I guess it's time to talk about some NASCAR. We wasn't on here last week to talk about Darlington. Labor Day, we took that day off, which is always funny because it's like the one race we try to go to half the time, and we don't come back and talk about it. So I guess we'll cover a little bit real quick. We went down in the pits for a little while there, hung out there, us and Connor, and actually got Mike Hulon to go with us.
Sweet.
So it was fun little time there.
I enjoyed it.
We didn't stay the whole time.
No,
kind of snuck out.
We stayed
about halfway.
Pretty while. Yeah,
about halfway. Thank you to SRI Performance for helping us out on those. There was a. What'd y'all think about Darlington? Since we hadn't talked about it real quick, what'd y'all think about the? It's always the event is fun. The event is fun.
I feel like the excitement around Darlington. I haven't been to many other NASCAR races at different tracks, but I feel like Darlington still. I mean, it is insane.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the amount of people
it is.
that excited to go there. Race wise, I thought. I mean, it was decent. You have to ride the first two stages at Darlington. You can't go hard the whole time. That's just the way the track is. There's going to be some riding around. But I thought they really turned it up there the last half of stage 3, and there were some comers and goers, and
they turned
it was cool to watch.
Turned the lights off.
Yeah. It was cool to watch Reddick and Larson. Inches hitting the wall sometimes the last 25 laps. I mean that's interesting. I mean, I really.
Oh yeah.
Because how hard it is to do that. So I enjoyed it.
What you think, Sterling?
Yeah. Well, first off, it was good to see it sold out. That was cool. Again.
Was it?
Sold out.
Sold out.
Yeah.
Nah, that was good.
No, but yeah,
it was a good crowd,
that's our
comparatively.
That's our funny thing every year. It's sold out.
Sold out.
Okay.
Okay.
But it was cool. We went. Mary Sue and I went. We sat up in the Brazen Tower for a little while. We stayed till about half. Well, we stayed till the lights went off. That's when we rolled out. But definitely the first half of the race was stretched out, like you say. It always is. But it's it's like you were saying, Connor, seeing those guys have the mental focus to run 367 laps that close to the wall. It's unbelievable, man. That's just, I mean, they literally 3 inches. We had a good view of them going through 1 and 2, and I mean, they were literally 3 inches off the wall. Yeah. I mean, just like, and that's the line. That's every lap. Yeah. It's just crazy to me, really. But yeah, it got a little more exciting towards the end, and they had a pile of cautions there at the end of it. Bunched them all up, and it was a typical Darlington race, really, as far as I'm concerned. It was good.
Good deal. It was.
I hated it for Kevin Harvick. I really did.
Yeah, that was bad.
I did. I was about to ask y'all about that since we didn't get to talk about that last week. What I hated it for him, regardless. Is the rule bad? Does it need to be fixed, or does it just stay like it is? Can you fix it?
I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. It's a bad deal, but you keep. I mean, what do you say? Once the light goes red, we'll give you 1 second. To get there. I mean, it's hard to draw. You got to draw a hard line somewhere. I think it's I hate it. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know why they didn't roll through. I mean, it wouldn't have. It still hurt them, but it wouldn't have killed the race.
Yeah.
Unless they just didn't. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you could have communicated that faster, but
I don't think anybody knew. I don't think, because I was even listening back to like door bumper clear. They say where the car is at the line at, you can see the light, but you can't see the car when it's at that line.
Yeah.
Only driver, and if it's how
even if you
is.
can't tell, I mean, if it's like that, you can't.
Right. If it's at the post right there when you're coming by, and that light's up here, I mean, if you're tilted up against the wall trying to save as much time as you can, you might not ever see it.
Yeah.
And
what in the world was Reddick doing there, though? I mean, really, that
he
was.
tried to dive in.
I understand the premises of it. If he stays out there another lap, they're going to make a bunch of time. But I mean, he couldn't have been.
It was the smartest thing he actually could have done.
Oh yeah,
in hindsight, 2020, bring out a caution.
Oh yeah,
that was the smartest thing he could have done. But it was just, man,
I hate it for hard. Hate it, man.
Yeah, so he had a good car.
So what do you do there?
I don't know. I think, like you said, maybe have a car length grace period, maybe, or something. I mean, there's got to be something, because I mean, he couldn't. There was a wall to his right side. He couldn't turn back out. There was no fixing that. And even Kevin said, he's been racing for 23 years or whatever it is now, and first time it's ever happened. Yeah. I mean, how often does it happen?
Yeah, I think that they hope they don't have to make that call.
Right. And so, do you fix something that very, very rarely happens like that? I don't know. But it just, it's not fair really to a team that has put that much effort into running good and worked on the car all race and there at the end, and then something that's crazy just.
I was like, man, as quick as it all happened, I was like, why did they even throw the caution, really, is my thing. It was like,
they need a caution.
They did need a caution.
I mean, for racing purposes.
Right, for commercial purposes more than anything. I get that, but it was just like, man, the way he spun around and kept on going, it was like, y'all held off. There was many cautions. There was a couple more cautions that night that they actually held off on throwing, just waiting to see if the guy was going to go. Then once they got closer, it was like, all right, we got to throw it. Well, I mean, I was like, all right, well, he kept right on going. Yeah. It was just like they were quick on the trigger on that one, I think. I thought about one. I don't know if it's a fix. I don't know. I still don't know. Maybe if you had two lines, is what I thought. And I ain't gonna even say I've really finished this complete thought. If you had a line way back around, say going in turn 3 or somewhere in turn 3, it's like, all right, this is the commitment line. You are committed to going to pit road at this point. But if something happens as far as caution, you can still turn out before X line, or something like that, just to make it so it's. I don't know. It's
just a rough deal.
It's a rough deal. It's terrible, and I've thought about it.
Doesn't happen.
I don't know. Do we even like a commitment line? I mean, that's you've seen that rule for a long time, but that's a fairly new rule in the world of NASCAR. Actually, I looked at that too myself, and I'm like, well, do we need a commitment line? I don't know what it's. I really look now, and I'm like, okay, say there was no commitment line. Say it was just in the pit road. If you were on it, or did it matter? Pit road was closed. Put a light there. I guess it's kind of the same as a commitment line. I don't know. I don't know.
People are trying to aggressively turn back onto the track.
That's exactly what it. That's exactly what it's for. I don't know.
You see how much
I think it's a
they
tough
already
situation.
try to fake each other out.
Right.
With the commitment line.
And I'm like you. I think it's kind of like Sterling said. Is like, do you really need to fix something that was just something that don't happen, even with that many cars out there? It really don't happen that often.
Yeah. No.
So I don't know. Maybe we don't need to fix it. Maybe it's just one of them things that happened. So anyway, Larson ends up winning. finally gave him a Southern 500 win. Yep. Man, what's he got left? Daytona 500 is about it, ain't it?
I believe so. Yeah, he's pretty much tackled
big races,
big stuff. Yeah,
and that pushed him on to round 2, which let's see. I'm trying to remember. I'm gonna go back on our sheets here real quick, since we didn't announce it last week. I somehow picked up that win with Chase Elliott. I think who ended up finishing I can't remember, 7th or something like that there. Because
I had Hamlin.
Connor had Hamlin, who looked like he had it locked up.
Oh, yeah.
And had a loose wheel and then got caught in a wreck. Sterling, he had Martin Truex Jr., who apparently they didn't just show up to Darlington.
I don't know.
I think they brought the wrong car or something.
They brought the wrong motor. It might have been a 6-cylinder. I don't know. But it was slow.
I mean, all weekend.
Yeah.
Qualifying.
He's normally
everything.
awesome there. I mean, so I don't know.
Something was bad off on that. I don't know what happened to him, but it was bad off. So that put Connor picking right. Who picked first last week?
This week?
Yeah, this week. You picked first. You picked first, and you went with Tyler Reddick. Sterling went with Denny Hamlin. And then I went with Kyle Larson. And we were all up front. I will say that.
I thought I had it won, man. Yeah. Daggone tire.
It was fast again.
It was, yeah. Denny was fast. I thought Kyle had it there for a little while, and then he kind of faded. Still had a fast car, but he just faded back a little ways. Tyler was fast. I mean, it was, man, I think this one of the few times that we've actually all finished in the top 5.
Yeah.
So ended up, who won that race? Tyler Reddick. So Connor won that one. Then he finished 2nd, and Kyle Larson finished 4th.
4th, yeah.
4th, yeah.
Close.
So I hadn't put points down for this week. So let's give Connor 3
starting to make a comeback.
points. Sterling gets 2 points. I get 1 point. So Sterling still has a commanding lead in these playoffs right now.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all very much.
With 10 points. I have 6 points. Connor has 5 points. Oof. We got to make a comeback.
We do,
Connor.
Big time.
Me and you have been like neck and neck this whole thing. So we got to make a comeback. So that put me. So Kansas.
Kansas has been good
the first stage was exciting to me.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on that first stage. Truex, lap 1, in the wall. Cut a tire, blew a tire. This playoffs are not working out for him for the regular season points champion.
He is now below the cut line, I believe.
He is not,
or he's right on.
Or he's right at the cut line. Yeah.
I think he's.
Or he is below.
I thought it was like 2.
I thought because of Bubba or something.
Yeah, I can't remember, but it's close. I mean,
yeah, it's real close. I have to look at it, but man, I ain't seen that out of him by no means because he's looked good all year. Nothing really bad has happened to him all year. Not until now. It's like all of a sudden it's like boom.
Yeah.
Then, like I said, Bubba cut a tire. Who else? There was a pile of the playoff guys that all had trouble. I don't know what was going on. Then, on top of that, Larson goes to come out the pits. Keselowski pulls out in front of him, and he kind of swerves to the right. Well, Chase happened to be there, and if they touched, it was just barely.
Yeah.
But they come out of the pits, and by the time Chase just swerves to the left to try to hit. I don't know if he tried to hit him, but he was trying to definitely get Kyle's attention. It looked like he was trying to hit him. Man, what's up with Chase?
Frustration, I guess.
I think it's getting the best of him. He
looks like a child.
He does look like he's throwing a tantrum.
He talks like a child. He acts like one. That's just my opinion.
Sterling used to like him.
I did, but man, what happened, bro? He's changed, man. I don't know. He just, man.
Yeah, that's how I feel about him too. I never really liked
I
him,
was.
per se.
I ain't gonna say I was on the bandwagon, but I like Chase, and
Well, I never understood why so many people liked him.
I think it's his name.
Got to be his
I
daddy.
know.
It's just notoriety of
Still,
the name.
I don't know.
But my thing is like most of the people that are
he's okay.
liking
He's
him,
okay,
they
but-
weren't watching most of it when Bill Elliott was around. I mean, like in all honesty, you weren't watching a lot of NASCAR when Bill Elliott was in it.
No.
So I mean, I don't know. It's I haven't understood it, and I'm kind of.
I wouldn't not like him if it weren't for so many people that did like him.
I didn't
You know?
agree with Kevin Harvick years ago. Years ago, Kevin Harvick said, and him and Dale Jr., I think, had a little riff about this for a little while afterwards. Obviously, they've made it up. They own businesses together now. But Kevin Harvick said years ago that it made no sense for a guy that wasn't a NASCAR champion or at least competing for a championship every year to be the most popular driver. He's like, why is that? If you look, and I will say, I get it.
know.
I get it.
I get it, but
I don't agree with that.
I'm not saying I agree with it, but I understand it more. I understand it a little more, just for the fact of yes, Chase has competed for championships. I'm not disagreeing with that. Junior competed for championships, but my whole thing is about saying that is our guys that we've had competing for championships, like they don't have the personality.
Not at all.
Is that and you like who you like? I mean, look at the Cowboys, the Lakers. I mean, they're teams that are by far the most popular teams, but in recent years haven't been anywhere near.
We're talking about my Cowboys.
A championship.
They sure showed out yesterday. I can tell you that.
But I mean, honestly, the Cowboys aren't winning Super Bowls.
No, they haven't.
Lately,
they haven't since the '90s.
But I mean, you can't say they're not the most popular team just because they're not
America's team.
Yeah, they're not good right now.
I know. I don't
think for a
disagree.
driver, period, in NASCAR, I think the most popular driver would be the most likable person. That's what I look at. I don't care if you're good or not. If you're a likable person, somebody that's exciting to see and talk to, or whatever at the racetrack, that to me is what draws fans to them.
And I agree with that. But why, if the fans are flocking to them like that, I'm gonna go back a couple years. Say Matt DiBenedetto. Matt DiBenedetto made a strong run.
He almost
for
got
most
it.
popular driver.
Yeah.
Why are sponsors not flocking to him?
That I don't know. I think. Well, I don't know. Sponsorship's different, I guess, because of how much is their sponsor getting shown on TV? How much is their banner getting shown?
Yeah, that's true.
So they maybe try to flock towards more of that.
You're never going to get the notoriety of Earnhardt.
No, you're not.
I mean, you can really. I mean, Dale Jr. was good, but I mean, it's the Earnhardt name.
Yeah.
It's what it is. DiBenedetto had his moments, where it's like, wow, he really, that was cool what he did. A lot of people like him, but he's not. I mean, where is he now?
That's right.
Every time Dale Jr. steps in the car in a late model, for that matter, people are gonna come see it.
He actually just announced he was stepping out of that truck that he's been driving next year.
What I'm saying?
So,
and I like DiBenedetto too, but I mean, the fans will follow.
He was the one guy I
when he
chased
falls
down
out
at Darlington. Actually,
Yeah,
I chased him down at Darlington just to shake his hand and he was super cool about it. After the race, he was about to fall out, but he was super cool.
yeah.
So yeah, I don't disagree with y'all. I'm just saying. I don't know. I guess my biggest thing is I don't understand with his attitude and everything else or lack of personality why Chase Elliott has been the
I agree.
most popular driver.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't get it.
Yeah, we got people.
He's a good driver, but I mean,
In all honesty, I'm probably about to get all kind of stones thrown at me right now. I could understand Bubba Wallace being a closer runner for most popular driver than I can.
Bubba's got a bad.
I'm not
attitude.
disagreeing with
Chase,
that. I'm not disagreeing with that, but he has a big following.
He has a big following for sure.
But do you walk around and you see a lot of people, even at the racetrack, do you see just a ton of people wearing Napa stuff? I don't.
I don't know, man.
I see Kyle Larson stuff.
Yeah.
I see Kyle Larson stuff everywhere. And I'm like, how is he not the most... I don't know, because I feel like, and I know this, we know this, from going to the dirt tracks that we go to or have gone to, when you go to the dirt track, Kyle Larson is one of the most popular names you will ever pull up.
Yeah, of course.
So you can't tell me that that crowd isn't the NASCAR crowd that's voting.
Well, I mean, have any of y'all ever voted for?
Yeah,
really?
I do it every year. I do it.
I just wonder.
think you can do it once daily.
Yeah, well, I just wonder those people like me who
don't
definitely support. But I mean, I just don't. I don't know. I don't vote for stuff.
I do. I
can understand. I mean, that's cool to do it, but I don't know. I don't get engaged to do that. Yeah. You know, I just don't. I'm
one of them people. I was like, oh yeah, it pops up on there, and I'm just like, yeah, let's do that. I know why my man's not most popular, but I take it. I'm Kyle Busch. Somebody got to be the heel. Somebody got to be. I'm gonna tell you what though, he's getting a whole lot more cheers than he is boos right now. But I don't think he's happy with his car.
Yeah. Well, I said if you weren't with us during the rough times, we don't want any bandwagons.
No,
spoken like a true Carolina fan.
Yeah. Oh man. Hey, we're back now.
We're back. All right. Maybe. So anyway, so that was Kansas. So that meant I got to pick first going into Bristol night race. We're going to have an extra computer Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm going to work that out. Yeah. We got a TV out there, so we'll be all right.
Sweet. So I get first pick, and I am going to take last year's winner from it that has come on strong this year, Mr. Christopher Buescher.
That's a good pick. That's what I was eyeing, to be honest with you.
Well, sorry, I took it from you.
It's okay. I'll adjust.
All right. I'm going to take his teammate. I think he's been strong here lately, and he finished right outside top 10 last year when they've come a long way in that team. Brad has been very good at Bristol for over the years, so I'm going to take Brad Keselowski.
All right. Who got there, Connor?
Oh, man. This is...
We take all the ones you wanted?
It's hard.
Bristol's a hard one.
It's really hard. And then you want to save some to the end, so it's really hard.
That's my thing, is like, I used Larson, but I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, man, I know because I've seen him do it. If he can make it to Phoenix, he'll figure out a way somehow, you think, to about pull it off. Or almost, you know. So it's, I don't know. So, but anyway, go ahead.
I'm going to take, he was there 2 years ago, whatever the last year of the Gen 6 was.
Yeah.
And this is last year. He's going out. I think they're going to give him all they can do. And I think if it comes down to where the driver really matters, I think Kevin Harvick's got a good shot at it.
He had a good shot when him and Chase were racing that time.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking back to.
Yeah.
I'm hoping.
I think he's trying really hard to get him a win.
He is too.
He needs one. He needs one bad.
I was never a huge Harvick fan, but I want to see him win. This last year.
That's right.
Yeah. Sweet. Good deal.
Sweet. All right. Well, to recap really fast, I'm taking Chris Buescher. Sterling's taking Brad Keselowski. And Connor is taking Kevin Harvick at Bristol for the night race. All right. What else we got? We had the World 100 at Eldora. I was talking about the points. Flow Racing finally put up all the points, and I was so confused about the points. I'm just like, I don't understand this. I really don't. I mean, basically the people that made it in the race and everything were the fastest ones that were there all week anyway, and so it really wasn't that big a deal. But our boy Trent Ivey won a heat race.
Sweet. That's awesome.
I'm trying to remember.
He's always.
I can't remember if it was Thursday or Friday night. Yeah, he has. But he won his heat race, and man, it was the greatest thing. I put it on Facebook that I was pulling for Trent to win the whole thing, because could you imagine the interview afterwards?
Oh my Lord,
I'd probably be calling him. I'd blow up his phone while he's in victory lane. But anyway, another good guy that I've actually raced with on iRacing quite a few times. I've met him at the track. Super good guy, Hudson O'Neal. Was able to bring home his first World 100 win. Don O'Neill could never pick up. He got a dream, but could never pick up a World. So he brought one in for the O'Neill family there. That was but one of the biggest stories was tires blowing right fronts.
Really?
And I mean, there was a couple of them. I saw a separated collarbone.
Golly.
Dirt car.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. You don't want to blow a right front in a dirt car. I mean, they bad enough in an asphalt and cup car, but the way they've got so much corner speed already, you blow a right front is bad news. So people are talking trash about the Hoosiers. And I really think that's just a product of Eldora. There's so much more corner speed and force on that tire than there is really any other dirt track in the world. I think that's just a product of that track more than anything. Yeah, the tire obviously doesn't match up for that track, but I don't think you're just going to have that same problem everywhere.
Yeah.
They haven't all year. I mean, they've talked some trash about the tire, but they haven't had that problem all year long. So anyway. Well, cool.
Good deal.
Well, what else y'all got?
That's it, man. I'm about to head home and do some more work tonight and try to...
Fun. What you got going on this weekend, Connor? You going to race?
I don't know. Just not sure. I don't think any of the legend guys are going to really be there. So we'll see.
I'm not.
We'll see about the other car.
I'll be over there with Sterling.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll race some
Champions
cows.
night. We'll let all the ones run up front.
I
I ran this race last year because I was really close in points and actually made it to 4th in points in Legends last year by going to this race. But I'm not this year. I'm not anywhere close this year. We have had the most trouble this year. But it's really crazy to me that they're already at Champions night. They are finished. This is the last points race for Florence Motor Speedway this year. There's more races after this, but last points race. Which did somebody say the other night the next race at Dillon was like the 30th or something of this month? I thought it was like the weekend after next, but somebody said it was
I figured
like
it'd just be the usual
I did too.
week after.
Which actually worked out good for me because I got a wedding the following weekend too. So
Come on,
for me.
What you going to do? You going to go to weddings or you going to race?
You got to go to weddings too, race.
Gotta fund it somehow.
Oh, well. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Appreciate Robert Powell coming on tonight, hanging out, and we will have him back on next week. So if anybody thinks of any questions or comments they want to ask him, I'm going to take a picture of all the ones we didn't get to and try to bring them up. If you got any more, definitely send them to us. If you want to put it on any of the social medias, use hashtag AskCBA, and because I always look that up to see if anybody asked anything. So use that on social, or you can message us, whatever you want to do. Comment on this video, whatever, and we'll try to squeeze in some more of you guys' questions to Robert Powell there next week. Appreciate him again coming on and being willing to share his story so openly as he is. So anyway, guys, all right, well, y'all go watch some racing this week. Sterling gonna go wedding it up, and I'm gonna play some music, I reckon. Push the button.
Let it play itself. You hang out with us. Just let it play.
So big plans for following the wedding. I mean, where y'all headed to?
We're leaving Saturday night, actually going to Charlotte to get ready to fly out to Antigua Sunday morning.
How long are you there for?
Till Thursday.
Nice.
So yeah, Sunday to Thursday.
Nice.
So we're coming back. So yeah, it'd be nice. Plane leaves at 7 Sunday mornings. We got to be there at like 4. They tell you now to be
So
a
can't
3
get
hour.
too crazy.
No,
get too
not
crazy
too
Saturday
I got to
night.
drive. I got to
You can't get too crazy Saturday night.
Not unless somebody's gonna drive me, but I don't think
All the
that's gonna-
Uber.
Yeah,
That's a long Uber ride.
yeah. So
Oh, well.
yeah, we'll be trying to keep it to a minimum on that. Hopefully,
There you go.
that'll be fun.
All right, guys, we appreciate all our partners as always. SRI Performance, Stock Car Steel and Aluminum, Ramy Racing Engines, Profab Headers and Exhaust, Fresh Chef, MPM, Rev Max, Dixie Made. Everybody that helps us out on here, we sure appreciate y'all. And I guess we will talk to y'all next time.
See you.
Later.